Welcome on the Cosmic Atom. This message did not find you by chance. God sent you here for a divine cause. Your spirit has sensed a change. The environment throughout your life has been one of mystery, expectancy, and even extraordinary stillness. But beyond the quiet, something mysterious is stirring. This mail is a confirmation. God is going to bring someone into your life. Someone you do not know. Someone with influence, access, or power who will be motivated by heaven to encourage you. Not because you beg for it, not because you network your way in, but because you are loyal, pure, and prepared. This is divine alignment, and when it occurs, it will defy logic while making history. Let's break it down into 7 prophetic chapters to help you comprehend how God is going to use someone unexpected to propel you to the next level. Before we delve in, please like, share, and subscribe, because this message is more than simply substance. It is a heavenly affirmation for the selected ones, as well as everyone who has been very supportive. Thanks. May heaven reward you abundantly. Your presence, encouragement, and obedience are not overlooked. Every time you listen, remark, and align, you are repeating what heaven has already said. If your spirit resonates at this frequency, type 77 in the comments right now. That number is not random. It is a prophetic code, a heavenly agreement that you are awake, alert, and prepared to receive what has been kept in heaven with your name on it. Not everyone will complete this message. Only those really selected will. Those who do will have a greater insight and prophetic clarity on the divine connection that is going to enter your life. Someone with God-given strength is coming to boost you into your task. This is more than simply encouragement. It's an alignment. This isn't information. It is implantation. Watch it again as your spirit guides you, since heaven will affirm something new every time. Your next level, it is not a dream. It is a divine appointment. And the stranger with your key is already on his way. Let's dig in. Chapter 1. God uses humans, but it is always from above. When God desires to change your life, He does not always utilize the same methods. He does not always rely on the individuals you expect to assist you. Most of the time, He sends someone you have never met, someone outside of your social networks, someone who is spiritually linked to the future rather than emotionally bonded to the past. God will rise up a stranger with power, influence, and keys in their hands, and they will be pulled to you, not by charm or effort, but by divine inspiration. This is how heaven works. God is not restricted to those who have seen your suffering. He is not limited to those who were there when you were neglected. No. When it comes time to elevate you, He will go beyond the familiar and touch the heart of someone who has never heard your name. They may not understand your tale, but they will sense your energy. They may not understand your situation, but they will be aware that they have been assigned while you are trekking through the desert. God has been working in someone else's castle while you have been praying for a breakthrough. God has been whispering your name to someone with the authority to say yes, open doors, finance the vision, and shout your name in rooms you've never visited. They are not better than you. They're just positioned differently. And their mission is to propel you into the position that best suits your calling. The chosen one. You have not been pounding in vain. You have not been praying into the abyss. What you didn't comprehend was that while you grew in quiet, someone else was preparing in parallel as you broke curses. Someone else was growing capacity as you pleaded for clarification. Someone else was receiving heavenly guidance. You will not need to pursue this link. It'll come seeking for you. This celestial assistance will not be dazzled by your exterior appearance. They will react to the anointing in you. God will bother their spirits until they act. He will make you memorable in their hearts. They'll see you once and be unable to shake the desire to bless you because God has linked their obedience to your ascent. Don't be startled when they appear out of nowhere. Don't turn down A because it seems foreign. And don't get so wrapped up in prior rejections that you miss the fresh recognition God is bringing your way. Your next level is coming via a vessel that heaven has allowed. And the instant they discover you, everything will accelerate. You don't need to network your way into success. You don't have to beg for a platform when God sends someone to help you. It never depends on your efforts. It depends on your alignment. So keep your stance pure, your faith strong, and your motivations pure. Because the one he's sending has been taught by heaven to identify your oil. This is wonderful timing. This is a strategic release. The stranger may not know your name yet, but heaven has already revealed it to them. And eventually, their obedience will unlock your advancement. Chapter 2. Your name appears in rooms. You have not entered the desired one. For too long, you've gone through life feeling invisible, misunderstood, and neglected while others were honored. You were silenced while others were given opportunity. You were being given additional tests. But here is the reality. Heaven wants you to understand that just because you haven't entered the room does not mean your name hasn't. In reality, the rooms you've been yearning to get into have already begun to reverberate with your name. Gatekeepers have heard whispers from above concerning you. Your name is being put in the hearts of leaders, decision makers, influencers, and those who have the power to alter your life with a single word. You haven't met them yet, but God has, and he's been working on your behalf in the background. There are boardrooms. You have never witnessed a meeting. You've never been welcomed to circles you'd never considered reaching. But your name is there, not because of connections, but because of covenant. Not because of networking, but because of obedience. You sowed with tears, and now your harvest is searching for you. This next step will not be in the limelight. It will manifest as a signal, a heavenly pull on someone's heart. They'll feel compelled to mention you in a discussion, recommending you for a job to support your goal and make room for your donation. When they do, you will not be required to explain your identity. Your anointing will be acknowledged in the Spirit. God is very deliberate. He is even exploiting your quiet as a tactic. You've been quiet, private, and hidden, but the same God who concealed you is now unveiling you one room, one name drop, and one holy whisper at a time. And when the time comes, your name will not simply be known. It will be recognized. Please take this as reassurance. Every time you were passed over, God passed your name on. Every time you were refused entry, God was preparing an entry. Your rejection was not a setback. It was a setup. You do not need to beg to be noticed. You don't have to pursue applause when the Spirit carries your name. It goes quicker than any marketing technique, further than any campaign, and deeper than any personal relationship. So relax. Someone is thinking about you right now. Someone is praying for you without understanding why. Someone is moved to call, donate, and open doors. You can still be in the desert, but your name is already in Canaan. You may still feel invisible, yet your name is on the mouths of monarchs. You may not know who is sending it, but God does. You've been building quietly for years. Heaven is now loudly announcing your name, not for vanity, but for triumph, not for ego, but for elevation. Not because you push your way in, but because God called you out. When they call your name, you'll know it's not luck. This is not exaggeration. This is a timely fulfillment of prophecy. Chapter 3. This stranger will recognize God in your chosen one. Prepare yourself, because what comes next is entirely dependent on legacy rather than chance. Even when it seemed that you were strolling alone, you were really in harmony. You remained committed even while no one applauded. You have been pure when compromising was simpler. And now God is going to reward you by bringing someone into your life who sees things others never do. This stranger will not be searching for potential. They will react to power. The type of power that does not come with a tag. The type of force that is not loud, but undeniable. The sort that can only be developed by crushing obedience and heavenly refining. And when they meet you, their spirit will testify. They will feel the weight you bear, not of troubles, but of honor. They will not be pleased with how effectively you market yourself. They'll be astounded by how closely you walk with God. They will not come to find you. They will come because heaven has exposed you. This isn't about networking. This is about heavenly recognition. Your spiritual location is determined by purpose rather than popularity. God has woken someone up in the middle of the night with your name on their spirit. Even though they have yet to meet you, they feel driven to create way for you. This celestial aid will not hesitate. They won't second guess. They will recognize this as someone I intended to boost. This is the person I've been allocated to pour into. This link is not for business. It is spiritual. They may be affluent. They may be strong. They may have access to runes you had no idea existed. But when they meet you, the hierarchy will not matter because they will respect the oil on your life. And don't be startled if they say something like, "I don't normally do this, but something tells me to help you." I can't describe it. However, you feel familiar. I feel like I've been assigned to help. I've seen plenty of folks, but there's something unique about you. The Holy Spirit is what distinguishes them. The difference is obedience. That difference is the amount you've been paying in private. That is now being rewarded publicly. And here it is. You will not need to beg for it. You won't need to plot or manipulate. You won't even need to prove anything. Because what is occurring is a prophetic collision. Your destiny has met its deliverer in human form. Not to dominate you, but to reassure you. Not to claim credit, but to take action. So when they arrive, identify it for what it is. A heavenly appointment, a supernatural setup, a relationship managed by God rather than by man's chosen one. This stranger will bless you as if they have known you forever, because they possess a spirit. You were buried for a season, but you were not forgotten. And now you're being introduced to someone who is both the heart and the hands to help bring your next chapter to life. Allow them to bless you. Allow them to open the door. Let them obey God as you have. Because when heaven and spirits unite, nothing can stop what has been divinely decreed. Chapter 4. Your preparedness is qualified. Thank you for this moment. The chosen one. Your travel may have seemed to outsiders as a delay, but in heaven's eyes, it was heavenly preparation. The lonely evenings and prayers. Nobody heard the sacrifices. Nobody saw the times. You declined chances that did not connect with your spirit. All of this was part of your spiritual training. It was not punishment. It was about placement. You've spent years marching with integrity when compromising would have been simpler. You remained mute when you were misunderstood. You continued turning up even when you felt invisible. Throughout it all, your character was developing. Your perception was being enhanced. Your capability was being tested as others were constructing platforms. You were being built by the present when others sought phases. You were looking for the hidden spot. That's precisely why you're prepared for what's ahead. You did not miss any steps. You did not attempt to hasten the procedure. You let God shatter, remake, and shape you for the moment that is currently on the way. This isn't luck. This is the legacy. God never promotes prematurely. He doesn't open doors until he's certain you won't utilize them to boost your own ego. And you choose one. You have shown that you can bear the weight without being crushed by it. That is why the stranger who is going to bless you isn't just turning up. They are turning up because you are prepared. They are not providing you anything you haven't earned spiritually. They are presenting what has already been recorded in the archives of heaven. You may not have known when, how, or through whom it would arrive, but you never stopped planning. You prepared yourself in secret so that God might unveil you in public. You learned to move wisely. You learned to control your emotions. When it seemed like no one was looking out for you, you learned to stand firm. You learned to respect God with nothing, and He can now trust you with more than enough. You did not squander the wilderness. You worshiped through it. You did not give up during the slow seasons. You developed depth in them. You did not flee from the fire. You allow it to refine you. And the stranger with authority isn't delivering a handout. They are providing heavenly recognition. They came because God spoke your name, because the skies opened in response to your faithfulness, because the oil you carry can no longer be concealed. This is when your planning pays off. This is the season when everything you've been through begins to make sense. This is when the years you spent being forgotten pay you with magical abundance. Stand tall, chosen one. Don't underestimate your progress simply because others didn't see it. God observed everything, and He made certain that your name was mentioned in the right place to the right heart at the appropriate moment. You're not blessed at random. You've been strategically promoted since your preparation went beyond just qualifying you. It differentiated you. And now the time you've been waiting for has finally arrived. Chapter 5. This blessing will end the delay in your life's chosen one. That delay is going to occur quickly. You've been fighting that invisible wall you sensed but couldn't put your finger on, that bizarre stasis in which nothing appeared to move. No matter how much you prayed, fasted, or tried, it is ready to shatter. Not gradually, but at once. Some doors may not open with effort. They begin with interactions, and the person God sends into your life holds a key that opens time frames, boosts favor, and awakens dormant seasons. What has been closed for years may be reopened in an instant when God sends the proper person with supernatural access. This isn't about networking. It is not about strategy. It is about supernatural alignment. You did not modify this. You didn't pursue this. You waited, worshiped, and trusted. As a result, God is rewarding you with a breakthrough that will allow you to skip steps and save time. One chat, one email, and one surprise encounter. Everything changes. Because God does not need a multitude to break the delay. He just needs one willing vessel. This stranger is entering your life. They aren't arriving empty-handed. They contain heavenly instructions, resources, power, and access. Not only will I bless you emotionally and spiritually, but I will also launch you. And it will not make sense to those who saw your struggle. But everything will make perfect sense in heaven's books, since heaven has been planning for this time all along. This benefit is not a prize for perfectionism. It is the relief that comes after your persistence. God has seen the weeping. You sobbed because no one acknowledged your efforts. He noticed that you remained devoted even when you felt forgotten. And now He's providing acceleration that will compensate for any sluggish season. This stranger's yes will be. When you unlock their voice, rooms will open. Your voice went unheard. Their influence will expand what you've been working on in secret. And you'll go from waiting to walking through doors that lead not just to possibilities, but to destiny. Delay, you've been circling, but now you're going into heavenly delivery. You have been hoping for development, but what's coming is prophetic fulfillment. And you'll know it was God because it came from His hand rather than the bustle. Get your spirit ready. Make room in your life for this benefit, which will arrive soon and in plenty. It will quiet any lies that claim you were forgotten. It will cure any wounds caused by delay. It will remind you that God does not follow man's schedule. He functions under the covenant chosen one. What comes next will not just benefit you. It will catapult you, because nothing can say later than what heaven says right now. Chapter 6. You're getting recognized for your service rather than your rank. The chosen one. Understand this thoroughly. This elevation that is approaching your life is unrelated to prestige, adulation, or the limelight. It is not about gaining popularity, famous or admired. God is not promoting you out of vanity. He is preparing you for responsibilities. You're not being recognized for your own glory. You're being propelled into soul labor. People have been allocated to your voice. Lives are awaiting your obedience. Your influence is going to create region-wide changes, and so that your contribution may be felt on a larger scale. Heaven had planned, and God had to ensure your heart was ready before your name was uttered. The stranger in your life isn't carrying a microphone to boost your ego. They are presenting a mission that requires maturity. This individual will have power, wealth, reach, and authority, but they are not going to crown you. They're coming to affirm you and the calling that has been on your life since before the earth was created. God is giving aid, not to sit on a throne, but to serve on a larger scale. You will talk in locations you have never been. You will be expected to counsel, guide, and lead several places at once. I ignored your name, not because you push your way in, but because God's plan has created place for you. And let us be clear, this is not an overnight prize. This is the result of years of covert sacrifice. Years when you served without being recognized. Years when you showed up, prayed, and gave your best in solitude. Heaven has preserved the receipts. And now, God is sending someone who understands worth. Someone whose spirit will be moved to intensify your task. Your path has been unique, and so will your effect. That is why you were tried in quiet. That's why you had to face terror without a platform. Because what you've kept secret is going to become a public display of God's glory. Not because you desired it, but because you protected it. The elevation you are about to step into will not feel like a promotion. It will feel like pressure. It will test your faith, ability, and devotion. But you'll be ready because God has been preparing you for this very time. You will be promoted to serve. You will be visible to the minister. You will have the resources to unleash rebirth. You will be granted favor, not to brag, but to follow divine command. Your encouragement is heaven's answer to a region's spiritual drought. Your voice is God's response to the chaos that has been allowed for too long. Your presence disrupts systems that have flourished in darkness. And the stranger? The one God is sending. They are only the vessel. The actual promotion is spiritual. True elevation is permanent. So don't expect applause. Prepare for the task. Don't prepare for fans. Prepare for fruit. Because this elevation isn't about who sees you. It matters who sees God through you. This is not the kind of encouragement that ends with accolades. It starts with increased accountability. And with each increasing degree of power comes a stronger call to humility, prayer, and discernment. You'll need to rely on God more than ever before, since the platform will not protect you. His mere presence will enough. This powerful stranger is not here to replace your faith. They were dispatched to reward it. Even when doors open, your posture must remain low, because the higher God elevates you, the more surrendered you must become. Do not confuse this season of visibility with validation. Your worth was determined in heaven long before man ever recognized you. Chapter 7. When this occurs, give God the praise. Let's bring it home. The chosen one. When the change finally occurs. When that stranger arrives with keys in hand, authority, voice, and goodwill in heart. Don't forget who created the situation. It was not luck. It wasn't a coincidence. It was God. Heaven spoke your name long before you ever knew it. Long before they discovered you. God made you. This is not only a breakthrough. It's a disclosure of everything He put inside of you when no one was looking. You did not sell yourself into this. You didn't establish yourself here. You did not plan your way to the top. You obeyed. You conceded. You persevered. You passed the private examinations. You wept silently. You continued to turn up even when there was no applause. And now, heaven is rewarding obedience in the most supernatural manner possible, via a human vessel who has been spiritually appointed to see you, identify you, and assist you in claiming what has always been yours. But here's a caution. Do not mix the assistance with the source. Be thankful for the individual, but give full credit to the supplier. That guy was not sent as a sovereign. They were assigned, not divine. And their assistance is a symptom, not the cause of the fulfillment that God promised. Yes, their voice may open doors, but God whispered your name into their soul. Yes, their impact might transform your life, but God managed the moment. Yes, their hands may raise you, but God carried you all the way. Don't allow the elevation lead you to believe that the trip was all about your effort. That wasn't your resume. It was your regard. It was not your charisma. It was your character. It was not your performance. It was your purity. That is why this benefit will continue, because it was based on surrender rather than self-promotion. So when it occurs, when the phone rings, when the email arrives, when the stage is set, when the platform rises, drop on your knees before you ever get up, worship before you work, and cry in thanks. Before you walk with confidence, be sure your posture constantly reflects truth. You did not bring yourself here. God did. Let this be your commitment. I will never take God's honor for man's approval. I will never sacrifice my anointing for attention. I'll never forget who made the impossible possible, because this is more than simply a breakthrough. It's about being a walking altar. When they inquire, "How did you arrive here?" let your response speak louder than any preaching. Obedience brought me here. Grace has kept me here, and God alone will be exalted for it all. You see, the following level will not just showcase you. It will amplify him. This stranger did not discover you. They were sent to you, and what they are unleashing is not a gift. It is a gateway for future generations to have an impression on land, to kingdom assignments. Walk cautiously through it. Carry it reverently. Maintain it faithfully, because once you go through, everything changes. Not just for you, but for everyone who knows you. Let your rising reflect heaven's constancy. Let your success demonstrate God's sovereignty. Allow your voice to promote truth, not ego. Let your blessings serve as a bridge for others to cross over into their own destiny. And keep this in mind if you ever feel pressured to be visible. You have been concealed for longer than you will ever be seen. You were tested for more than they can ever know. You were entrusted with holy weight, and now you are entrusted with sacred duty. This is when your life turns into a beacon. This is the moment when your name becomes a prophecy fulfilled. This is the moment the earth realizes what heaven has already decided. And when people praise, follow, or adore, don't take it in. Reflect it, redirect it, return it to the single person who saw the oil while no one else spotted the container. To the single person who kept you alive when everything attempted to break you. To the only person who could have written a narrative, the divine God. So rise, chosen one, but rise with respect. Speak with the heavenly gate. Shine, but with heavenly fire. And when questioned how you unlocked the door, how the blessing arrived, how did the stranger know? Simply grin and say, "It was written, it was time, and it was God." Dear viewers, your support through Super Chat and membership is the only source of income that keeps this channel running. If you want me to continue uploading valuable content without delays and to stay motivated in providing you with the best wisdom, I need your help. Every contribution, big or small, makes a huge difference. Feel free to donate and support Pure Wisdom so we can keep growing together. Your generosity keeps this journey alive.
If you're enjoying the content on Pure Wisdom and find value in the messages we share, I encourage you to subscribe. Based on the latest analytics, 93.9% of viewers are watching without subscribing. By subscribing, you not only stay updated with new content, but also support the channel's growth, allowing us to continue spreading wisdom for the chosen ones. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an important message. Let's build this community together.